Hi folks, and welcome to another Movie Hooker YouTube video. I thought I would try something a little bit different this time, and what I want to do is take you through what I think are some of the best South Korean action movies in existence. Now, Asian action is just above any other action out there. If you take, just take for example Fast and the Furious. If you look at the action sequences in Fast and the Furious, and then you look at the action sequences in any Asian production, from fucking anywhere in Asia, then, you just cannot compare the two. Asian action is on a completely different level. And so, I hope in this video to hook you up with some of the best South Korean action movies. Let's get to it.
Number 1. Secretly Greatly.
First up is Secretly Greatly. I think this movie was released in 2013, and also there was a TV adaptation done as well, I think in 2019, which I've yet to check out. Secretly Greatly follows a group of children who have been trained up to be fucking killer assassins in North Korea since their birth. Once they reach a special age, they're all deported. Is it deported? Well, they're all fucking deployed, not deported. They're all deployed in the South Korea, and they all have to take on different stupid identities and wait for a message from their leader in South Korea, or North Korea, who obviously is completely disfigured, because if you're any sort of like North Korean army officer in a South Korean production, you're going to look like fucking Frankenstein. But this is Secretly Greatly, and it is an absolutely fucking phenomenal action movie. The action choreography is just out of this world. The acting is top notch as well, and there's some genuine laugh out loud moments in it. So that's number 1. That's Secretly Greatly.
Number 2. Deliver Us from Evil.
Deliver Us from Evil is one of the more recent South Korean action movies. I think it was 2019 or 2020. It is also rated 15s, but do not let that rating fool you. It is a cross-production between Thailand, South Korea and Japan. It follows a South Korean assassin who wants to go straight, the usual story, but he has to fulfill a promise. When someone dies, he has to go to Thailand to look for a missing girl who is feared to be kidnapped and part of a child trafficking ring. So this has a little bit of fucking everything. Again, the action choreography is just off the charts. The gunfighting is phenomenal. If you're a fan of heads getting bashed off walls and phenomenal looking gunshots, then Deliver Us from Evil is definitely the movie for you. Plus, not only is it about a child fucking trafficking ring, it also has a serial killer who goes by the name of the Butcher, and this guy is fucking a joy to watch on screen. So that's number 2, and that's Deliver Us from Evil.
Part 3. The Witch Subversion Part 1.
For Part 3, I have chosen The Witch Subversion Part 1, and obviously that means that we are going to get a Part 2 as well. And for those of you who haven't seen this yet, you get to watch Part 1 this year, and you'll also get to watch the sequel this year because it is getting released. And I have been waiting since 2018 for the sequel, so if you haven't seen this, then I have to admit I am a little bit jealous. Again, we're in North Korea, and this little girl has been experimented on. She finds her way to South Korea, and she finds a new family. She doesn't know anything about her past in North Korea. She also wants to be a singer, and she goes on to the equivalent of South Korean equivalent of X Factor. And when she's on the TV doing her thing, she's noticed by the North Koreans, and then they go, "Oh my God, this is the girl. We need to get her. We need to kill her." And of course, she starts having memories of her past, and her true self starts to come out, which is an absolute relentless killer. This is action at its very, very finest. And as I said, Part 2 is coming soon. So that's The Witch Part 1 Subversion, or Subversion Part 1.
Number 4. A Monster Boy.
You may have noticed that I skipped the first word there in the title in my epic trailer voice, because I would say Huawei, and that pretty much makes the fucking dude sound like a mobile phone company, so I do not want to be responsible for the mispronunciation of a beautiful language. But anyway, A Monster Boy is one of my all-time favorite action movies, and one of my first introductions to Asian or South Korean action films. This is an absolute fucking game changer. It follows this little kid who is brought up since birth by 5 different criminals, all badasses. And pretty much this guy becomes an assassin for the criminals. And oh my god, guys, they just do not make them like this. And if you watch this today, it still holds up. There is still very little out there like that. And I'm very surprised we never got an American remake of it. Not to mention they wouldn't be able to do it anywhere near as good. So that is Hawaii, A Monster Boy.
Number 5. The Villainness.
Now, for number 5, I want to talk about another personal favourite. Now, actually, they're all personal favourites, but it is very hard to choose a favourite when all these movies are just fucking phenomenal. So, for the last one, I want to talk about The Villainness. It focuses on a really highly skilled assassin, also trained from birth, who wants to break out of the crime and just live a normal life. But in order to do that, she must hack, slash, shoot, and fucking chop her way through many crime syndicates to find her freedom. This, again, the filming styles in this is just phenomenal. It switches from just, our normal action filming style to like this great POV sort of style that we've seen in Biting Elbows Bad Motherfucker. I think it was excuse me, Biting Elbows Bad Motherfucker, I think, was the music video, and then that guy went on to do Hardcore Henry, I think that's what you called it. So that sort of style. So guys, thank you very much for... there's my fucking phone. So, actually, before I go, I want to talk about something else here. This fucking movie here, that scene right there, fucking right there, I want to talk about this scene, and in particular, what I want to say is that the motherfuckers in John Wick completely ripped this scene off. Now, there's not a fine line between being inspired by and completely ripping off a fucking scene. When I seen this for the first time, I'm not even joking, I nearly vomited over the place. I got so fucking sick in the stomach. I was like, you cheeky fucking bastards. And I searched for so long, trying to find any info. I was like, guys, come on, please mention that you took this from The Villainness. And I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find any documentaries, any special features, until I checked through all the fucking comments on the YouTube video. And one of the comments says, John Wick special features brought me here. So they obviously did mention it in the special features on the Blu-ray or the DVD. But in my opinion, this never got enough credit. This is one of the most phenomenal fucking scenes in recent action movie history, And the John Wick team are fucking good at choreographing great stunt fucking scenes, but this just takes the absolute fucking pish. Right, I'm going to play a side-by-side comparison, and you can tell me, is this inspired by, or is it absolutely fucking ripped off? I know I'm going completely off subject here, but this pisses me off, and just watching the trailer sort of reminded me. So, sorry about that, but I guess this is a special feature on the action movie video. Alright, let's do it. Anyway, guys, you get the point. It's not just absolute cheek of Hollywood there. The absolute fucking cheek of them. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I do realise that I only talked about 5 action movies there, and there is about another fucking 10 million of them to go through. So, if you enjoyed this video, let me know, and I will get a part 2 going as soon as possible. And all that, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't done so already, because it really helps me out. Thanks a million, guys, and thanks for watching. Cheers.